Okay guys, welcome back again. This is part 2 of our video. So right now we will be tackling the question straight up. So we are done with the first part here. So now we will be doing the second part of our question, which is 2.2. So we'll be doing number 2.2. What are we supposed to do here on 2.2? They are saying you are provided with information relating to Umlazi Cricket Shop, a business selling cricket battling pads and cricket balls. So this business is selling two things. It's selling cricket battling pads, those things used to play cricket. It is also selling cricket balls. They use the periodic inventory system. The financial year ends on 28 February 2022. Required. What are we supposed to do? So guys, this is how your exam will also come like. It will come like this. Remember, this paper is a June exam common paper from KZN 2022. So your June exam question might also come out like this. Yeah? So take everything serious. So the first question will be like, calculate the value of closing stock for the two stock item. Here it is. Calculate the value of closing stock for the two stock items. The first item is cricket pads. The second item is cricket balls. So we have to calculate cricket pads and cricket balls. So remember, there are many methods as I explained on the first video. But here, what are they saying? They say on cricket pads, we must use the FIFO method. Then on cricket balls, we must use the weighted average method. So I'm going to be going through the methods and showing you what you are supposed to do. Okay. All right, let's go to our information. This is our information that we will be using together with our our answer sheet here, where we'll be answering the question. So the first information says, number A, stock counts for the financial year. Under the stock counts, we are having what? Date. On 1 March, number of units of cricket pads that we were having, we had 125 units. There's now 125 my cricket pads on 1 March. Then on 28 February 2022, at the end of the year, how many cricket pads are we left with? We are left with 420 cricket pads. Then also per unit. This per unit, it means how much does each cricket pad cost? Here we find out that each cricket pad cost 600 rand. And remember, we're having how much? We're having 125. So let me punch my calculator. We're saying 125 cricket pads that we're having multiplied by how much does each cricket pad cost? So we're going to multiply by 600. We're going to get how much? 75,000. This is the 75,000, the total value of these cricket pads on 1 March. That's 125. That's 75,000. So on 28 February, how many cricket pads are we left with after the year end? We're left with 420 cricket pads. How are we left with 420? Because if you go to information number C, there are purchases during the year. We purchased on 15 March 120 cricket pads. We purchased 230 on August. We purchased 10 December 180. We purchased 15 January 70 cricket pads. In total, we purchased how much? We purchased 600 cricket pads. And we opened the year with how much? We opened the year with 125 cricket pads. Then we purchased how much? 600 cricket pads. Then when you go to information number D, how many cricket pads did we sell? We see we sold 305 units of cricket pads. So in summary, we opened with 420, then we purchased, we opened with 125 units on 1 March. Then we purchased how much? Total of 600 pads. Then we sold how much? We sold 305 units of cricket pads. And now we are left with how much? At the end of the year, we are left with 420 number or units of cricket pads. Just like that. Now, the question says, what do we do here? The question says, calculate the value of the closing stock for the two stock items, cricket pads, using FIFO method on cricket pads. We will start with that one. We want the value of the closing stock. How much is our closing stock? The closing stock on 28 February, we are having 420 units. We're having 420 units. So there are steps here that you need to follow to get these 420 units if they did not give you. There is a way that you can get these 420 units if they did not give you. So let me just get a blank paper so that I can show you. Okay, I got my blank paper here. Let me show you the steps. Let me show you for FIFO method. FIFO method. There is step 1, number of closing units. You can write this on your scribbler, step 1, or you can write this on your answer book, is fine. Step 1, on FIFO method, you have to get the number of closing units. How many units are you having at the end of the year? At the end of the year. How many units are we having at the end of the year? That's the first thing you need to get. So when we check here, on 28 February, which is the end of the year, on our question paper, on cricket pads, we're having how many units? We're having 420 units. So the number of units at the end of the year, we write it down, 420. So what if they did not give you this 420? What were you going to do? There is a formula. The formula says you take your opening units plus your purchases minus the returns minus units sold. You'll get the closing units. So let's do it small. Let's do it. The opening units on 1 March is 125. So we write it down, opening 125 plus purchases. How many units did we purchase? Purchases, let's go to our purchases information on number C, purchases. How many units? We purchased 600 units. So we're going to say plus 600. Then the formula says minus returns. How many units on this activity? There are no returns. If there are returns, they will be showing you somewhere. So returns is 0. Then the formula says minus units sold. We go to number D, sales information. How many units did we sell? 305 units were sold. So minus 305. It's supposed to give us the same 420. But if you don't believe me, let's punch the calculator. But no, this is the formula to get the 420 that they gave you here. For in case if you come across an exam session or an exam question that does not give you this, this is how you get the 420 for step number 1, which is getting the number of closing units, which is 28 February closing units of 420. This is the formula that we use. Let me punch it. 125 opening plus 600 purchases, which is this one, plus 600 purchases. Returns, we said there is 0, then minus units sold, which is 305. So you see on my calculator, it gives me the same 420 that they got here. So if in case they did not give you the 420, this is how you get it. Just repeat the video if you did not understand. That's why recording is important, because you can learn it anytime. No one must have an excuse to fail here. You learn at any time. Just open your phone, open YouTube, buy data on VodaPay app for R1, 1 gig per day. Then just watch videos and learn. Nothing difficult. So that's how we get step number 1 on FIFO method. That's how we get the 420. After that, we go to step 2. Step 2, we follow what the question requires. What does the question require? 2.2.1, they are saying calculate the value of closing stock. So number 2, we're calculating the value of the closing stock. We're calculating the value of closing stock. So remember, our closing stock is the one that we got on number 1. Which is which one? The closing stock is 420 that they gave us here, and it's the same 420 that we got on our number 1. So we're going to say step 2, okay, we have 420 units of closing stock. We have 420 units. Yes, but now we want the value. Value, it means we want to see how much it cost in rands. How much does this 420 cost in rands? In order to get that, you have to apply the method that they said you must use. Remember, they said using FIFO method for cricket pads. So in using FIFO method, you have to apply the explanation that I gave you on the first video. What is the FIFO method and how does it work? You have to apply that knowledge of using the FIFO method. And remember, I said FIFO method, it means the first stock that we purchased is the first stock that we are going to sell. So for an example, we are going to focus mostly on our purchases. What is the first stock that we purchased? Here, when I check, the first stock that we purchased is this one. Purchases information number C, don't forget. The first stock that we purchased is on 15 March. 15 March 2021, we purchased how many units? 120. So we assume this is the first stock that we purchased. So first stock means first in, first out. First in, first out. This is the first stock to be in our business. It also means this is the first stock to be sold out of our business. So now when you are doing FIFO, you don't focus on the latest stock. You don't focus on the earlier stock, the first stock. You focus on the latest, the one that is towards the end of the year. Because we assume this one, for an example, on 15 January, we assume this one is the last stock that we are meant to sell. And this one on 1 March, we assume this is the first stock that is to be sold on 15 March 2021. Then this one on 15 January 2022, we purchased it towards the end of the year. So we assume this is the last stock to be sold. And how many units do we have remaining? We have 420 units of stock remaining. Where do these units belong? Because they don't have a price. Even if you check here, this 420 does not have a price, And when you check the price, the purchase price here, that's exactly what I'm doing. It's what you are supposed to do on your paper. When you check the purchase price here on your purchases, you see on 1 March the purchase price was 650, 25 August it was 690. You see it's different already. And we have 420 units. We don't know where did we purchase them so that we can get their value to multiply. So it's 690, it's 720, it's 750. You see, the prices are different because we purchased these things at different dates. We purchased these 420 units at different dates. We don't know which date did we use to purchase these units. Exactly, that's the nice thing about FIFO. We don't know the dates. If we knew these 420 units, we purchased this on 15 March, we were going to say 420 times the price of 15 March, which is 650. But we don't know. So we're supposed to use the first in, first out principle. Listen carefully. You go to your last purchases. You go to your last purchases, always. So you know we are left with 420 units, and there is a higher chance since they are left, you did not sell them, they belong to the last purchases, because we assume the first purchases we have already sold them. So we assume this 420 belong to the purchases which are last. So with that in mind, we know what's on our 420. Part of an amount of this 420 belong on 15 January, which is 70 units. You see? So with that in mind, we're going to say 15 January. We had 70 units. We assume we did not sell these units. So we're going to say 70 multiplied by the price for January. 70 units on January that we did not sell. So which means they are here in this 420, which is the closing units. This valuing out that we did not sell. So we assume these last purchases, we did not sell them. And this last purchases is 70 units. So that's why we're going to say 70 multiplied by 750. So you're going to say multiply by 750. Then you get your amount. 750 is the price for January 15. That's FIFO. So let's punch our calculator. 70 times 750. 70 times 750. We get an amount of 52,500. So we write it down. 52,500. That's it. So we know out of our 420 units that we have at the end of the year, the units on hand at the end of the year, which is 420 at the end of the year. Let's sell now the ones that we did not sell. These 420 units, we know 70 of them belong to January. So we have to reduce our job now. We know this 420. Now we are reducing 70. We know out of this 420, we now know 70 belongs to January. And this is the 70 here. It belongs to January, which is the last purchases. So now we know out of this 420, 70 belongs to January, and we know the price for that 70 at January, which is 750, and it gives us a total value of 52,500. So you are going to say 420 minus the 70. 420 minus 70. So we get how much? 420 minus 70, we get 350 left. So it's equals to 350 units. So out of the 420 now, we know 70, where does it belong? So how much are we left with that we don't know? We are left with 350 units. We don't know where these 350 units belong. We don't know where these 350 units belong. So just tick this. You are done with January. So we know 70 units, they belong in January. How about this 350? Where does it belong? You go to the second purchases that are latest after January. After these January purchases, the second purchase that are latest is what? Is this ones. It's this ones right here. On 10 December 2021. And how many units? Is 180 units. And we purchased them at how much? At 720. 180 units on 10 December, and we purchased them on 720. Simple, guys. You simply go to your last purchases, then you go up bit by bit up until you are done with this 420. So now we started with 70. Now we go to how much? We go to 180. So we know now on this 350 of ours that is left, that we don't know where does it belong. We now know this 350, it possibly belongs to 10 December. So we're going to write 10 December. Then how much was the price or the units on 10 December? The units on 10 December are 180. So you write them down, 180. This 180, you then now multiply by. You are supposed to multiply 180 on 10 December by the price on 10 December. So this 180 on December, it gives us a price of 720. All this is given. So we're going to multiply by 720. I hope you understand. So on 10th December, we're going to say, okay, we had 180 units at 720 each. So you punch your calculator. 180 units times 720. We get 129,600. 180 units times 720. We get 129,600. So you write it down. 129,600. That's it. Now, on this 350 that was left now, we know ukuthi 180 belongs to December. So on this 350, you now minus the ones that you know. You know what's on this 350 that you are left with now. You know what 180 belongs to December. So now you take out the 180. So 350 minus 180. How much are you left with now that you don't know? So you're going to say 350 on your calculator. 350 minus 180. Then we get how much? We get an amount of 170. Just that it's not clear on my calculator. But 350 minus 180, it gives us 170. So on the 350 that we are left with here, minus the 180 for December, we are left with 170 that we don't know. You see, we are left with 170 that we don't know where it belongs. It's simple, you don't stress. Now, since we are left now with 170, where does this 170 belongs? You go back to your information. Okay, now we have dealt with 15 December, which is 70. We have dealt with, we have dealt with 10 January, 15 January. Then we have dealt with 10 December 2022, which is how much? Which is 180. We have dealt with that one, this 180. Now, what's the next purchases when we go up? This one is on August 2021. And how many units? 230. Then the price is how much? 690. The price is 690. Then the unit is 230. So now, on this August, you write it down, is 25 August. 25 August. Now, remember, the units that we don't know now that we are left with is 170. And we assume that they belong on 25 August. Why? Because we have dealt with this January, we have dealt with this December. Now, the next month is what? Is August. So we assume that the 170 belongs to August. Then the number of units on August was 230 and the price on August was 690. You can't say 230 now because you are not left with 230 here. You are left with how much? 170. So you can't use this 230. You are going to use this 170 that you are left with. So it's now 170 times the price for 25 August, which is 690. 690. 170 multiplied by 690. So it's going to give us an amount, it's not clear, but it's an amount of 117,300. So you write it down, 117,300. So now we are done, guys. We have dealt with the 70 for January, which we got here. Then we have dealt with the 180 for December, which we got here. And then now we've dealt with 25 August. We are left with 170, which we got the price here. So now, when you say 70 plus 180 plus 170, it's going to give you the 420, which means now we know the value of our 420 units. We know how much they cost us. We broke it down piece by piece. If you did not understand how we broke this down, guys, please revise this video again, watch and try to understand, ask questions on the comments. How did I get this? What? Ask, be free, guys. Repeat the video. It's all yours to learn every day. Remember, this thing that I'm teaching right now is the very same thing that is coming on your final exam. So prepare yourself while it's too early and fight for your goals. So now, we know 10 January, we know December, we know August. And we know with all these units, they give us the 420. And now we know their prices. With the 70, its price is 750. The 180, its price is 720. The 170 that is left at the end is how much? Its price is 690. And we also return it their dates here. Where did we get these prices? Using the FIFO method, first in, first out. You understand? So now you're going to totalize. You're going to say 52,500 plus 129,600 plus 117,300. So we're getting how much? We're getting 299,400 on our calculator. 299,400. When we add this one plus this one plus this one, we get this total. So this will be our value of closing stock, 299,400. So that's it, guys. You can go to your scribbler, to your answer book, and just do step 2 here, where they say cricket pets, calculate the value of closing stock using the FIFO method. This is how we do it. Go and revise the video. If you did not understand, I will just write the answers. It's 70 multiplied by 750, which gave us 52,500. Then it's 180 multiplied by 720, which gave us 129,600. Then the last one is 170 multiplied by this 690, which gave us 117,300. So you totalize these three amounts. You add these three amounts, they will give you the value of your closing stock, which is 299,400. And that's your 4 marks, guys. That's your 4 marks. Sorry. That's your 4 marks right here. Just for calculating FIFO method. Also, you have 3 marks here, which I explained on the previous video. So you see, it's easy to pass this thing. Just go and revise this video. And if you need the question paper, you can email me, WhatsApp me, or just go and download the June 2022 from this website. stanmorephysics.com. stanmorephysics.com. Go and download the June and then practice the paper again and again. Try to understand the FIFO method. If you have any question, ask. That's it, guys. Thanks a lot. Oh, don't forget, on the next video we'll be doing calculating cricket balls. Calculate the value of closing stock of cricket balls using the weighted average method. Remember, here we were just using the FIFO. So in the next one, we're going to do the weighted average. So in summary, guys, FIFO method, it's all about what? If Sebati cram, just cram. If you want to cram, FIFO method, you just go to your last purchases. First of all, you do step 1, which is number of closing units at the end of the year. So this is the formula to do step 1, opening plus purchases minus returns minus units sold, which is this one. But here they always give you, most of the time, on 28 February, which is the end of the year, the number of units at the end of the year is 420. Then after that, you go to your last purchases. You say the last purchases is which one? Is 15 January 2022, 70 units. And you write it down. 70 times the price for there. Then you go to the next one, 180 times the price for there. Then when you say 420 minus 70 minus 180, you are left with 170, which means this 170 now belongs to the next month up, which is August, and the price was 690. That's why we say it's 170 times 690. Then we combine these three, we get the FIFO method. That's it, guys. Thanks a lot. See you on the next video where we'll be tackling the weighted average method.